Hi, we're Kristy and Emily, and this is the Conscious Unconscious podcast where we talk about the energies that are currently happening and the astrology associated with it so that you can work with the energies and create the life of your dreams.
Today, we will be talking about the energy of the Libra new moon and all the energies surrounding it for the upcoming weeks.
What I'm seeing coming through this week has been a lot of shadow. I'm not going to lie. It's not
Okay.
just in me, it's in with the people that I work with, it's in all of my clients. I've been educating everyone around their shadow this week. And so, if anyone didn't know what their shadow was, the shadow is the parts of ourselves that we kind of tuck away, that we learnt somewhere along the line that we don't want them to be, we don't want those certain parts to be part of our identity or our like ego that comes outward into the world. And so we tuck it away and don't let it come out. And what happens is it just comes out sideways. And so instead of, like, as an example, if you had a shadow of not being able to express yourself, if you weren't able to express yourself without, like, with full acceptance or without losing acceptance as a child, then you would naturally create like a self-criticism that stops that expression coming out, sort of like a gauging to stop it from coming out, like, is this acceptable? So it comes through a self-criticism. And then obviously everyone knows what self-criticism sounds like, and it comes through your mind and it's very convincing that you shouldn't do something, that you're not capable of something, that you should just step back and not go forward with your dreams. And so it's innocent because it's just trying to help you to be accepted in the way that you learned to be accepted as a kid. And it's just not effective in helping you to move forward and take steps forward towards your dreams. So that's why I help people with their shadow, because once we can meet that part that has a misunderstanding that it's not okay to be me and that I have to keep a lid on it and criticize myself, once we meet that part and give it some love and some appreciation for everything that it's been trying to do to keep us safe, then it can let go and it can allow the other parts that are like the parts that are wanting to grow and thrive and do big things in the world. Those parts can start to take the lead, and they can even have that energy of the shadow part as well. So it's not about ever trying to get rid of anything or like release anything, or, it's all about integrating it. And once you integrate it, then that energy that you were using to fight between parts, it becomes available to use for everything that you're wanting to create. So this week, we've all had shadows coming up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm wondering, does that show in the astrology for this week?
Yeah. So hearing you talk about it showing up for yourself and your clients, and it's definitely shown up for me too. We are obviously sitting in beautiful Libra, like the sun is in Libra at the moment at the final decan. So it's at 27 degrees. So the degrees go from 0 to 29. And I think of it in a way of like we're maturing through every single degree. So at the 27th degree, we're maturing into the full, how do you say it? The full, I want to say spectrum of that sign. I don't know that that's the right word, but Libra is about fairness, it's equilibrium, it's balance, it is connections, collaborations, equal energy exchange as well. And obviously, on the shadow of that, it can be where there is imbalance, where things aren't feeling fair and just, where we might be feeling at odds with something. Where Libra is also the sign of like luxury. So, where could we be feeling maybe the other end of that, like deprived in a way? Um, So the Libra new moon that we're in is asking us to plant seeds for starting new things within collaborations, within connections, um, that are equal, that are balanced and fair and just. And so at the moment, we also have Mars and Mercury in Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 10th house, which is our public persona. It is the way we are perceived by the world. It is our like reputation, public standing. And Scorpio is the sign of like depth, mystery. It is the past. It can be our like psyche and all the things like hidden and unseen as well. Scorpio is deeply intuitive. But on the other side of that, the shadow of Scorpio is like can be manipulation, can be secrecy, like having skeletons in the closet kind of thing. Um, it is literally the past. It is, um, whether that's connection to ancestors or ourselves or um, kind of like the mysteries of life, the depth of things. And so hearing that you are having these conversations and experiences with yourself and your clients, and I have too, doesn't surprise me because that is also what's showing up in astrology. And they're in the final sun, the final decan. So they're at 19 degrees is the Mars, and Mercury is at 20 degrees Scorpio. So it's kind of the introductory point of like, look, these have been sitting here for a long time. They're going to be brought up, and maybe it is. I don't know exactly the kind of things that are happening with your clients, but maybe it does have to do with like being equal or like having connections and equality with things.
I
Is that kind of something that's come up?
Yeah, well, I had that with myself actually,
Yeah.
with equality and yeah, with some people this week. And then I also, when you were saying that, and especially with that Mars Mercury, I did have one of my clients who had something happen, and she went straight into like a shadow part of her went straight into, oh my God, this is going to undo all of the deep work. She's been doing really deep, like subconscious,
Yeah.
unconscious reprogramming for like a year. She's like, this one thing
Wow.
is going to undo it all. And I was laughing. And I'm like, but I was like, I shouldn't laugh because this is your reality. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
But I'm laughing because it's just a shadow that's saying that, saying
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that one thing could come in and all of your deep work could be undone. But it's like
Yeah.
Mars conjunct Mercury in Scorpio is all about that deep work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we had this as well, like in even doing this podcast,
Mm.
like you know, I was feeling really hesitant in the beginning about doing it. And like when we did our first one, I wasn't really sharing because I wasn't necessarily feeling like safe in doing so. And then you sent a voice message to me during the week, like kind of mentioning that, for you to feel safe and for us to both embrace our Pisces, it is that, there's equal sharing. And then that really like clicked in my mind. And I was like, wow, that is a shadow that I've had. Similar to your like client, in that I've been working on so much for so long and like keeping a lot of it to myself. And the thought of then sharing it was like terrifying. And I was like, what if I share something and then I lose everything? You lose the control. And
Yes.
yeah.
That's so Mars
And
in Scorpio, the control.
yes. And right. And I have my Pluto like in Scorpio
Mm.
at the 22nd degree. And so it felt very like, Pluto's also about vulnerability, but it's also about empowerment. And so it felt really like, I don't know. And again, at the literally conjuncting all of these aspects, it felt huge to me. But what I really valued was that, you know, you made it a safe and conscious conversation that like helped me see my unconscious.
Mm.
Even though I saw it, you know how you can see your own unconscious mind, but then having it, I want to say like safely and gently called out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And so for me, that's because I've got this Saturn transit going on, with Saturn conjunct my sun in Pisces.
Mhm.
And so I'm very aware that I have like in the past, I've had no boundaries. And so it's like, it can be confronting for me when someone has boundaries and I'm like, I don't know where this, like, am I sharing too much? Because I've put a lot of boundaries in now. I feel like I am
Mhm.
quite well boundaried, but obviously that can still come through. It's part of my makeup. Um, and yeah, for me, it's like I've got these Saturn things coming up, and there's things that come up, and I know that I've got to have the conversation. And it's like I can't not have the conversation anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like I go, okay, I have to have an open and honest conversation.
Yeah.
And actually it always ends up being the best thing that could happen,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yeah, I used to be the sort of person, especially with all that Pisces stuff and all my
Mhm.
Libra stuff, where I would like think that making people feel comfortable was helping them always, like always
Mhm.
feel comfortable, even if I have to lie, even if I have to say
Yeah.
things that I don't mean, like make people comfortable. And
It's the shadow.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
shadow of it. That's the shadow of Libra as well. Yeah, which is
Oh,
what,
yeah, true. Yeah.
yeah. And it's yeah, and it doesn't help anyone. And so it's like when you can have open and honest conversations like that, it's so rich and deep, and everyone gets something out of it. I mean, there's a way to have open
Yeah.
conversations as well. It's not about like, oh, it's not truth if it's not coming from your heart. It has to have
Mm.
love in it for it to be actual truth. It's not like sledgehammer, this is what just coming from thought. That's a
Yeah.
different thing. Like,
No.
yeah.
Put the sledgehammer down.
Yeah.
Think it through.
Yeah. But when there's a truth that's in your heart, that's a loving truth that is fully
Yeah.
accepting, it's not asking anyone to be any different, it's just expressing how you feel, that's always going to come up with a better result than trying to pretend that it's not there and make things comfortable, well,
Yeah, well,
like
exactly. And I
comfortable in
think,
inverted commas.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, comfortable.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I feel like this, like Libra new moon is leaning into. Like, what you mentioned before, focusing on the manifesting, what we want, like the equality in things, but then realizing, as you said before, that everything that is not that
Mm.
will likely leave
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
yeah, I think I said that before we started recording, but it was,
yeah.
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 So on a new moon, so we're going to do these podcasts on the moon, on the new moon and the full moon. And so for me, and you can say what you normally do as well, Emily, on your for the moons. But for me, I would normally be releasing on the full moon and like building into something on the full moon. And then on the new moon, I set an intention. And the reason I was talking about that was because I was saying, like, I'm not normally looking for things to release on the new moon. But once I set an intention, like a manifestation or something that I want to create, then every time, as it always happens, the things that are not that, or the things that are in the way of that, will bubble to the surface. And so
Yeah.
if you don't know how to work with that energy, it can feel like it's reasons that you can't have your goal are coming up to the surface. But when you know how to work with blocks, you go, oh, here it is. Now I can work with this block that's coming up, or all these reasons that will come through your mind of why you can't have that. And that's a good sign because they're coming up so that they can be seen because they were just hiding before. They weren't
Hmm.
not there before. They were just hiding. And then as soon as you set the intention, they're like, it's like the universe is like, well, that can't stay. So up it
Yeah.
comes.
Goodbye. I really like how you say that too, because it's like you've like completely unlocked another part of manifestation for me, I think, just now. Um, I have been someone that has been so used to releasing all the time.
Mm.
Like I was always like, it's a full moon, release. Even like a new moon, I think my shadow was that I always had so much I needed to get rid of before anything would ever manifest. So I'd almost over focus on what I need to release and not so much what I can create.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that awareness because
Yeah.
yeah, because it's that can be one of the pitfalls of like healing and self-development is that it's
Hmm.
or it feels like you're never going to be there, like it's never going
Yeah.
to be time. And really there is no future. There is no like there is
Hmm.
there is only now. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I have had that too. And so coming into that acceptance of I am exactly where I'm meant to be right here in this moment. And if this desire is in my heart right here and right now, then it wants me just as much as I want it. Because that
Yeah.
desire doesn't exist unless you have it. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Unless you've
Yeah,
got it there. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And that's it's super interesting as well. We thought it's like this new moon is like empowered and like there's like this energy of let's build behind it. And we've also got, which I think is incredible, we've got Lilith in Scorpio at the 23rd degree. Now, Lilith is like the dark feminine. She is the one that, wants to be liberated, wants to purge the shadows of, I guess, the feminine traits that we society might have painted as, I guess, more yang or more challenging to deal with. So Lilith wants to be liberated. And in Scorpio, it's wanting us to dredge up all those old things, all those, hidden things beneath the surface and start again, essentially. And I know Mercury is also trining Saturn as well during this new moon, and it's trining Jupiter in Cancer. So trines are like ease and flow. It's like room for healing, it's room for positive energy. And so this new moon wants us to really balance out what we do want and what we don't want. And exactly like what you said before, it'll all kind of just naturally, it'll fall away because we have no other choice but to do the work with Scorpio.
yeah.
We have no other choice. Um, yeah, so I think it's a beautiful part of this week. And I hope people know that it doesn't have to be, like you said before, letting go doesn't have to be scary, but focusing on the manifestation itself. And every single time something leaves, it's like, okay, this might be needing to let go of because this is my dream and I've got to focus on my dream. I've got to focus on the equality. I've got to have these uncomfortable conversations because it could actually turn into something really incredible. I've got to lean into those parts of me that, like, where am I not showing up for myself? Like, whether that's, um, what Scorpio, like in the 10th house, I guess that's what skeletons do I have in my closet? my shadows that are coming out that I actually really need to deal with, because if I don't deal with them, people around me are going to end up mirroring it back.
Mm.
Um, and we're going to have to deal with it anyway. But yeah, I really feel like it's a good new moon to really enrich our connections, our partnerships, and our collaborations, because it's literally being supported. Like, it's being really beautifully supported by the planets. So
Yeah, I love that. And can I just ask, because you're saying that it's in the 10th house, so is that
yeah.
based on the moment of the new moon? Is that how do you do a collective house?
So this is from Brisbane, I should have said in the beginning. So the chart that I have here, the signs are in the 10th house based on the time zone of Brisbane. Whereas, like you said, the collective house, you'd have to put in your search a chart yourself online, whether it's through AstroSeek or astro.com, and put in the location, the date, and it'll actually show you the house that it's showing up in collectively for where you are in the world.
Okay, yeah, beautiful, amazing, yay. And so, as we go through into this next month, is there any guidance on the planets or anything that's coming up? I mean, maybe for this next 2 weeks, because we'll be back for the full moon uh,
Yeah.
full moon
Right.
in Taurus.
Doris,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. We'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Off the top of my head, I'll have to look that up. But yes, we've also got, so as of tomorrow, we have Neptune leaving Aries and going into Pisces. So it's retrograding back into Pisces for the final time, um, which is huge collectively. So Neptune is obviously can be about illusions, delusions. It's like the collective consciousness, um, what we are idealizing maybe, and then not seeing the reality of. It can also be our dreams, aspirations, manifestations. It's linked to water as well. So it going into retrograde, being an outer planet, we'll be revisiting those kinds of themes within Pisces. So Pisces is the final zodiac sign too. And you've got your sun in Pisces, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got my moon in Pisces.
Yeah. And
So it'll,
rules
pardon?
and Neptune rules Pisces too.
Yeah, it does. Yes. Neptune rules Pisces. So wherever Pisces is in your, like, sits in your chart, that will be the area that it will be impacting for you as well.
Mm.
So retrogrades are asking us to revisit those themes. So where might you be idealizing certain things, certain people, certain projects, or where do you actually need to, like, get real about it and do what needs to be done?
Mm.
It is also um, wanting us to revisit how we want to launch ourselves into our dreams, I think, and following our intuition. It wants us, it might push us into leaning more into our intuition than we have before.
Mm.
Um, so then when it starts back in Aries in the new year, Aries is like, get up, go, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like when Saturn and Neptune went into Aries, I could feel that. I could feel that let's
Mhm.
go, we're going, like we're going to a whole new timeline. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is good, but I'm kind of looking forward to going back to Pisces, have a little break and gather myself. And I felt that when Saturn went back into Pisces. So I've sort of been looking forward to Neptune going back into Pisces
Yeah.
and sort of, and it's so strange. Like some people who were sort of dropping off my radar as Saturn went into Aries, as soon as Saturn's back in Pisces, they're back. Like they're here. It's just like they never left. And so it's
Yeah.
like we've gone back a timeline and just like
Hmm.
finishing things up. And then because I know that Uranus, I don't know when Uranus comes back as well, because they've all those big planets are coming back.
Yeah.
And
Uranus will too in Taurus.
yeah, and
Will
then
retrograde into Taurus.
it's like early in the new year that we're full steam ahead in the new timeline. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So I think having Saturn and Neptune both dipping back into Pisces, like collectively, it's huge. I think at first I wasn't looking forward to it at all. At first I was like, no, I don't want to do it. Because I was super energized by the like everything going back like into Aries.
Yeah.
But then like you said, it's just like, wow. Because it was full steam ahead for like the 2 or so months. Everything was direct.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it'll be big in just like wrapping things up in such a good way.
And so I let's do an intention setting for this new moon in Libra. And now that we've heard about all of the energies that are happening, that is here to support us, and we can kind of be in that bit of like exhale of everything going back into Pisces. So we don't need to stress too much. And we can be in that beautiful new moon in Libra energy. And so, yeah, if you want to close down your eyes, so long as you're not driving, so long as it's safe to do so, closing down your eyes and maybe putting one hand on your heart and another hand on your belly, just to feel that sense of safety in your body, that sense of safety that always comes from you. And taking a deep breath, filling up your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And exhale, dropping into your center, into the center of this moment, the only moment that exists. Allowing the breath to be natural and just noticing as it goes in and it goes out. It's a beautiful giving and receiving that naturally happens, often unnoticed. Receiving the oxygen and then giving that CO2. Breathing in and out, just noticing it, noticing the quietness that comes as you pay attention to your breath. And then dropping your awareness into your heart space, your already open heart space at the center of your chest. And breathing into your heart space, feeling the energy inside your heart space, that beautiful, loving, peaceful energy. And as you breathe into that energy, into that love, bringing to mind your greatest creation. What would you like to create in the next 6 months? Even if you don't know how it will come about, letting it be open, letting it be big, letting there be no limits on what that thing is. And then noticing as it lights up your heart, having that desire light up your heart means that it's in alignment. It means that the universe wants that for you just as much as you want it. And as you allow yourself to feel the feeling of already having this goal, this desire, letting that sink into your body, notice that it might be a little uncomfortable as it starts to settle. Just breathing, allowing it to settle into your body, that feeling that it's already done. You already have it. The mind wants to tell you that you shouldn't feel that because it hasn't happened yet. Thank you, mind. You're trying to keep me safe. I've got this. Letting that feeling be in your body. It's already done. And so it is. And now that you know that that goal is inevitable, now that you know that it's done, how will you enjoy your day exactly as it is today? What are the things that you are grateful for in your life, for how it is structured exactly as it is? And what can you do today to really enjoy it? Because today your life is exactly as it's meant to be today. So many gifts here to enjoy. And as you take a deeper breath, filling up your belly, your ribs, and your chest, you can bring your palms together, exhale. And then opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Beautiful. And so
Mm.
it is.
And so it is.
Yay. Well, thank you for our first podcast. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. So
Yes.
fun.
And we will be back for the next full moon in Taurus, I think. Sun will
I
be.
think it's the Thomas, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.